Hello YouTubers, today we're working on this 2006 Nissan Sentra, and we're going to be doing the front, inner and outer tie rods. I've already done this side, and now I'm going to film this side. Alright YouTubers, first thing you want to do is chalk your back wheel, block it with a brick or whatever you have. Then jack it up from a solid area on the bottom of the vehicle. Put some jack stands on there. Never trust your jack. And then take the wheel off. I've already started. And it's not a very hard job to do. Probably the hardest part is trying to get to the back of the inner tie rod. You have to use a pipe wrench. It doesn't have anything to grab it with a wrench or anything. And I'll show you here in a little bit. Okay, before you do anything, you want to make sure you loosen this nut right here. That's how they adjust or they align your vehicle. They loosen that up. And you want to do that first, and it's a 19 millimeter. I usually use a pipe wrench. You know, if they're real tight, you could strip them with this, but let's give it a whack and see what happens. That didn't work. Okay. Sorry YouTubers, I had to reposition the camera. Another thing I do, you can whack it like that with a hammer. Another thing I do is put your wrench or whatever you're going to be using there, and then use a crowbar and wedge it on a area down there like that, and use it as leverage. See? And see how this works. Okay. So I'm not gonna slip. There we go. See how tight them bad boys were? And I said that pipe wrench never has let me down. There we go. See, it's loose now. Now I'll probably have to hold this inner tie rod with the pipe wrench and try to turn this. And again, always spray it with penetrating oil, whatever penetrating oil you use. Spray it an hour before, whatever. This I just sprayed it because I forgot, but that'll help you. Okay, I turned it and I got it loose. What I did is I held it from here, the inner tie rod, with this wrench, and then with 19 I turned this nut just so I could get it loose. And see, it got loose, and you can see it was on there tight. So you can do it that way, or wait till you take it off and then put it on a vise and, you know, hold it with a vise and loosen this nut, because most of the times these are on there tight. I've ran into a bunch of them that are pretty tight. Now we're gonna take off this bottom bolt and pop up this outer tie rod out. And I like the way that whoever did it last time didn't go crazy bending these. Because it's hard sometimes. People make a pretzel out of them. They're so hard to take out. And you're good right there where they did it. See? It comes out and it's not going to go nowhere. See how easy it is? I'm going to have to kill myself. So I'll try to put it the same way. And you can take it off with regular tools. But the problem I ran into when I'm doing it with just regular hand tools is the whole ball joint will spin sometimes if it's too tight. And what you have to do when that happens, just take like this prying bar that I used earlier, pry it somewhere and put pressure on that ball right here on that tie rod, and that'll help it from spinning. And some of them, they have a little slot in here, so you can use a hex or an L wrench. But if you don't, yeah, I've had them where I had to put a lot of pressure on there with the pry bar. But I'm gonna use the impact on this one. So yeah, I'm just in a impact gun. It makes the work a lot easier. And to pop out that bar or tie rod, you can use tools like this. This is the first tool I bought and it works awesome. Put it in there and it'll push that nut up. But then I saw a guy use one of these and kind of fell in love with this one. Does basically the same thing. Put it in there like that and it pops up the joint. And they said not to use impact tools on this one, but I've seen people use it. I've probably done it before, but I won't do it on this video. I'll use the hand tool. I like to put this nut on there, which we're not gonna use that anymore anyway, but this keeps it from flying everywhere, falling off. And also if you're gonna reuse it, it'll keep that nut from getting damaged. They also have those forks that you can use, but those forks damage these boots. So unless they're real tight and I'm not gonna reuse nothing, I'll use those forks, but I try to stay away from those forks. All right, here we go. So you can see, we just go with the hand tool. It takes too long, I'll fast forward some of this, but there we go. See how it pops out? And by leaving that bolt in there, well, it probably wouldn't go anywhere anyway, but and now it comes. Okay, here you can do whatever you want to. Some people count the threads. I've done the threads before and I count the turns too. It doesn't matter, you know, it's gonna get you pretty close to it. It's not gonna be 100%. You just turn it and count them. Okay, it took 16 turns. Now another thing I do, I take this ruler, this thingamajig. You guys that are carpenters probably know what it is. It's the proper name. And I measure from the bolt to the back of that, where it stops, right there it hit. Then I tighten it. And I check it again. Perfect. And now when I take that bolt and I put the new one in, I'm gonna put it right there where that ends. Perfect like that. Now I'm gonna have to use a wrench for that. That's all I'm doing. I'm using one of these, you know, through sockets. Has a hole right through the middle. It takes it off. That way I can take the boot out. And eventually you'll get to a point where you don't need to hold that inner tie rod with the wrench. Now it's turning freely. Decided to give up and not put a struggle no more. He knew he was gonna lose either way, so he said I might as well give it up. Okay. I love these pliers. I got them from AutoZone with my $20 reward thing, and I've always wanted one of these. They have a long reach. That's what I used to take this clamp off that boot. Out it comes. Now I'll kind of have to play with this, break that seal. See, it was on there real tight. And you hear that pop. Now we're gonna get in there and destroy that seal or clamp in the back. The back clamp, it's not reusable. I've heard you can reuse it, but it's so hard to take off. So I'll just use a zip tie or one of those clamps that you tighten with the screwdriver. Okay, the way I knock that clamp in the back is take that pry bar or a long screwdriver and find this part of the clamp. That's what you pinch when you put them on, and then whack it with the hammer, and either it'll break it or just push it all the way to the back. That's all you gotta do. And now you'll be able to pull the boot out. Gotta use two hands. Oh, come on. There we go. And that boot's been getting caught on this little ridge right here. And that also helps the clamp, I guess, hold it in place. And this is where we have to use a pipe wrench right up here. So we have to go through the top. Okay, YouTubers, this side was a little bit tougher. There was a line, I think it's a AC line in the way. But the way I did the driver's side, here's the driver's side, is I used this big pipe wrench. I went right through here, squeezed in there, and hooked down onto the, there's the boot. I already got the boot on, but hooked up into the end of that inner tie rod, which is down there. I know it's hard to see. And I was able to break it loose and put it on with the pipe wrench, because you got plenty of room up here. So you got this big old hole right here that lets you move that pipe wrench in there. Well, this other side was a different story. It's got room too, but you've got this dang line. There always got to be something, huh? Got this line in the way, and see, that's what you need to grab. Zoom in. I'm sorry, I'm moving around a lot. That's what you need to grab, the end of the tie rod right there, and this line gets in your way. I almost thought about cutting that pipe wrench, but you know, they're not on there tight. I thank the guy that put them on before me, you know, and I got it loose. See, yeah, it was loose. I had to get my hands dirty. See, let me clean my hand before I touch the camera. Okay, I cleaned up. I haven't tried this pipe wrench, which is smaller. And then I tried this baby one, but nothing. I still couldn't get the leverage because that pipe is in the way. So I remembered that it wasn't on there tight. I was able to do it with these vice grips. Oh, thank God. I was praying. I went in here with these vice grips. And I grabbed that back of that inner tie rod, and I clamped it, and I moved it, and it moved. I go, Jesus, thank God. That's how it looks. It moved barely any, but it was enough to break it loose. You know, pushing it back towards the drivers, back towards, you know, the passenger. And see, you can see right there, it's moving. So, guys, that's the best info I can give you. Good luck. I hope y'all don't run into this situation, because it's rough. All right, here's the new part and the old part. They're identical. And now when I put this new part, this is where this comes handy. I'm gonna put it in till it hits right there. See, I gotta take the nut off again to put the boot on, but that's how I'm gonna do it. And it's gonna get me pretty close to the ballpark. And it also came with another nut. I don't know what for. It's got that one already. I guess a different size. Then your outer tie rod comes with a castle nut, carter pin, and your little grease fitting. And when you put this on there, you don't have to put it all the way to where it bottoms out. It's not gonna do it. You might be able to do it, but I mean, that's tight enough right there. See, it's not all the way bottomed out. And it won't leak. It takes the grease and everything. Okay, and it comes with a pack of grease too. So you want to grease in here, and it's gonna be hard to move because it's new. So you might want to hold it with vice grips, or what I did with the other one. I put it in the car on the rack and pinion or whatever, and then I was able to wobble it, and I filled that in there real good with the grease. Just squeeze that grease. Put it in there and squeeze it in there. Like I said, you can put it in the car or get some vice grips and wiggle this around. Right now it's real hard because it's brand new. I'll do it in the car and I'll squeeze some more grease in there. Okay, and use some glovies so you don't make a mess of yourself. Okay, see, I got it screwed in there a little bit by hand, not tightened all the way. That way I can add some more of this stuff. See, now I can bend it like that and just squeeze all this stuff in there. Get it nice and packed in there. Then move it up and do the underside. Pack it nice and good. And then whatever's left, pack it in there. And I'm even gonna put some back here, back in there like that. It's not gonna hurt nothing. And that's it. We're done with it. There we go. Okay. All right, now comes for the magic. I'm gonna go up top side, and yeah, I'll let y'all watch from down here. Okay, I'm gonna snake my hand through here. Pinch these. Tighten it. Pinch it again. Another tightening. Open it. And the last one. That, ladies and gentlemen, is good enough. It ain't going over. And the trick is getting these vice grips out of there. Okay, now we're gonna put the boot on. Okay, I'll try not to get in your way, but no promises here. Here is the boot. I'm gonna slide it in there. Turn, twist and turn. There we go. Oops, you know what? I forgot to take that old clamp out. Huh? I'll pull it up with the vice grips. There it is. See, guys? Got it out. Don't forget to take that booger out. Oh, now my hand's caught down here, up here. There we go. I got my hand caught there. I thought I was going to get stuck there for life. Okay. Okay, this is a view from the top. Just want to make sure that the boot's on there and want y'all to see it. Okay, I'm down here. Hello. See how the boot's on there secure? Now I just got to put a zip tie or a clamp up around here. Now we go back down here. Where you at? There you are. Let me set the camera. Okay. Now we're gonna put this on. Where are you at? This little clip. Take the pliers. Squeeze it. I'm gonna get real close to that tie rod, so if I drop this, I don't lose it. There. Can y'all see? Yeah. Boom. Almost had it. Almost had it. There we go. It's on there. Put some light on there so I'll show you I'm not lying. See? And I could use a little more, huh? Alright, see. Alright, here's where I take this tool and measure right there. That's where it's at. So now I put the new outer tie rod. That's the old one. This is a new one. And I'm gonna grease it real quick before I put it on. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. I'm just gonna put some till I see that rubber little boot start getting fat. It's hard to see, but I can see it. There we go. Then I'll put some more once I get it in there. I don't want it exploding on me. Okay. Let's start spinning this. Okay, I forgot how many turns I had counted last time, but I think it was 16. So right there, 16. And that looks about right. So now I'll push it in here. Put that castle nut on the bottom so it'll hold it. And I'll take my 19, is this it? And tighten this up. Yeah. Once I do this bottom one, I'll tighten it better. I'm sorry, it wasn't even showing y'all what I was doing. I was tightening this nut up. There. And then I'll tighten this, and then I'll put a little more. Was I in the way? Just for good measures, gonna give it a couple of pumps. Okay, everything's caught in my hand. Okay, 1, 2. And there you go. Now we just got to put the clamp or clip up here through, well, on that boot right there, and we're done. All right, last, put that carder pin in. Just give it a bend. Don't go crazy, like I said. That'll be good enough. That's the way they had it, so I'm gonna do it that way too. And then we're done. Well, YouTubers, got it done. I'm just gonna take it for a test drive and see how it drives. More likely he'll need an alignment. Let me show you something else I do real quick. I'm holding a flashlight in my right or left hand. I put the seat belt on the steering wheel like that. I lock it in place, that way it don't move around on me, and kind of helps out with the getting everything straight. All right, let me go test drive it. All right, YouTubers, just came back from a test drive. It drives good. It doesn't go all over the place, but I'm sure it's up to him if he wants to align it. I mean, that's where he was going to at first, but they told him he needed the inner and outer tie rod, so I'll let him know. It's up to him if he wants to align it. Like always, I really appreciate you, and thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and good luck.